Virtual Spanish Travel Show presents an opportunity to understand and redesign your itineraries for Spain post-COVID-19.
Thank you, friends. Thank you for joining us on the panel discussion today at this virtual Spanish travel show. You know what's happening in the world, the way the pandemic has touched every country in the world. It's like, actually, if I may say that, it's like a world war. And every country is suffering for it, and every nation at the moment is trying to save its nationals and see what the best they can do. Travel and tourism has taken some beating, but now we are all seeing a light at the end of the tunnel when the vaccine will come out, and we're hoping that travel with or without that will have to start. Some countries have started some amount of travel, and that's why we are here today with the virtual Spanish travel show to see and how we can do that. Today, by doing this discussion today, we want to deep dive and understand the relationship between the Indian traveler and the Spanish partners. That's what we really want to find out. Europe has had many ups and downs while battling the world war against COVID, but Spain is gearing up to welcome tourists and the Indians can't wait to travel again. In fact, if you ask me, this is a match made in heaven. My panel today includes some learned industry professionals, and I will ask them all to give their opening comments, and that is what I will do. Friends, going ahead, I mentioned to you that we have some of the sharpest minds from Spain who are going to discuss and talk about the relationship and how we can look at the Spain and India relationship in tourism. My panelists today, let me get to introduce you to them, and I've taken the liberty from them to talk about and give their first name for a few of them, because it's difficult for me to pronounce their names. So friends, thank you very much. My first panelist, when I give your names, please, if you can wave yourself out or something so that people can recognize you, is Ignacio. He is the director of Across Spain. Ignacio has been in the inbound sector for the last 30 years, especially focusing on incentive and leisure travel. He is overseas markets like the Indian subcontinent, Middle East, China, Southeast Asia. Ignacio, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you with us today. The next person is going to be Kiran Mansharamani, the managing director of Waqt Tourism. Kiran initiated this venture in 2011 with an aim of merging her two origins on culture, that is Spanish and Indian. Waqt Tourism has grown as a DMC specializing in MICE, in the high-end FIT from the Indian subcontinent. This latest edition is an event division that describes corporate and social events. Kiran, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here. I will at this stage like to introduce to you Alex. Alex is Commercial and IT Director from Europe-Indo Vacations. Since the past 20 years, Alex has been managing Europe-Indo sales and marketing network all over the world, as well as creating the IT infrastructure, an in-house online booking system that is used by the organization. Welcome, Alex. It's a pleasure to have you with us today. Last but not the least, I have with us is CRISTINA Lezano, Managing Director of Century Incoming. CRISTINA has been a part of the tourism industry for over 30 years. She started Century Incoming 18 years ago. She is known to partake in your achievements and provide motivation whenever needed. She is a rock strong in times of a crisis. CRISTINA, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here. So friends, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask everyone to give their opening remarks, and after that we will ask them the questions. So for the opening remarks, I will go first to Ignacio. If you can give your opening remarks, that'll be wonderful. Welcome. Over to you.
Hello, it is a pleasure joining you, sharing with you this time now when we can start seeing the light at the end of this long tunnel. There has been time to think about our profession and also the different part of what we do every day. With regards to the Indian market, I think it is a very good opportunity so that we can meet and share this opinion. So thank you for continuing us.
Thank you very much. And now I'd like to go on to Kiran. Kiran, if you would like to give your opening remark, that'll be wonderful.
Thank you, Sanjeet. So, well, current situation has been very tough and very stressful for all of us. Unfortunately, it's not a problem that we are facing only in Spain, but it's worldwide. But there's always a silver lining behind everything. No? So positive thing is that this has created a lot of sympathy and solidarity between countries. And I think it's the opportunity to revise what we have been doing in the past, to fix our views and our minds to new opportunities. And Spain is open to welcome new travelers, new concepts, and we are here to make that possible.
Thank you very much. Alex, if you don't get angry with me, can I go with the lady first? Can I ask Christina to say her opening remarks? Okay, Christina, you're muted. If you unmute yourself, can you give your opening remarks, please?
Hello to everybody. The situation has been very, very tough for everybody, especially for industrial tourism. But I think there are good expectations now because I think people have saved money and they wish travel, and all of us, we need to recover our normal lives. So we are positive. We are positive in the future.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Alex, now over to you. Let's hear your opening remarks.
Okay. First of all, thank you very much, Sanjeet and TravelTalk, because you are a communication very important at this moment. The moment that where the people need to know that the countries are starting to be opened, that Europa Mundo is starting to be open to offer all our tools in Spain, and that all this time of the past, all this long tunnel that we are passing is finishing in a short term. The vaccine is coming, and Spain and our products are open for the import. That's it.
All right. Thank you so much. So I'll start with my questions, and the first question I will go with Ignacio. I'll come to you first, since you had the longest experience being in this industry. I would presume that in this lockdown period for the last so many years, most of the Indian DMCs, and you may have been in touch with them and constantly asking what is happening. I just want to ask you, what is your feedback from the Indian market at the moment? Has they generated any interest? Have they asked for some itineraries, or are they inquiring about what is happening in Spain? So can you share with me what your feedback is from the Indian market? You're muted, sir. You need to unmute yourself.
I would like to stay realistic. So the majority is still the majority of clients, Indian clients, are looking for classic itineraries, the highlights of that we have been selling from the beginning. As many of them, the majority of them may be first timers. But it is true that there are some trends that the market is signaling now. So there is an increasing demand of nature. So there is an increasing demand of new programs for families, especially with activities, showing the genuineness, what is specific to our country. And then also another one, it is self-driving. Self-driving, it is something that is increasing a lot also. These are the three main segments or leads that this time pandemic time is bringing, in our opinion.
Kiran, I'll come to you now. I really need to ask you now. You heard the three itineraries, which the question that basically would be that, is there a change which you find in the travel trade's behavior, or are they looking at going to isolated places, or they're saying going for a week, 10 days, or they are making it small? What's the change which you find in their behavior?
There is something we don't have to forget, and it's that our main entry and exit points are in the big cities. So Barcelona and Madrid will always be part of the picture. But the thing is, like Ignacio said, over the last few years, we observed the trend of an increasing number of guests opting for self-drive, which has now become even more popular because it gives you the security and the safety of traveling on your own vehicle at your own pace, plus the safety of not incurring probably in some health issues, no? Now that we have the corona still going on. Yes, there is more interest in isolated areas. Actually, there's also more trend on special accommodation and boutique hotels like paradores can be, for example, which are usually located outside the main city. So we have observed these changes when it comes to the itineraries and the way the clients want to travel. There is less group travel and more private tours.
All right, that's a change. So the group movement goes away and FIT becomes stronger.
It increases, yeah, small groups.
That's the way. Christina, I'd like to come to you and ask you, because now everybody talks about the so-called new normal. The hotels look at new things. In fact, tour operators, in fact, yourself would look at new normals. In fact, people won't want to travel in buses. They want to drive, like she said just now, go in FITs and all that. So what are the new normals that are at the moment the Spanish market is looking at doing, which will actually give confidence to the Indians to travel to Spain?
Well, we have been in contact with our main clients, and I think in general the tendency is that people wish to travel, but they don't want to join with the other passengers who are not traveling with. I mean, the people who nobody want to have a relationship with people they don't have relations, so they will travel more for FITs, small groups, family, something like this, or small van tours. But I think people want to travel, but they want to travel alone. I mean, this is more, we have to focus more in individual passengers, in FIT, in small van tours, to be careful with this atmosphere.
But when it happens to, sorry, I'm going to come back to you. When you said they want to travel alone, means that's going to be a family together or individuals. And do they travel now in cars and limousines, or would they do it in big buses and a seat on coach basis?
Yeah, I think so. They won't travel in big buses. They don't want to join with other people who has no relationship with.
Fair enough. Okay. So coming to you, Alex, now. I'm moving a little away on my question to you would be, now at this stage, the new normal, everything is changing. Are you, or is Travel Mundo is going to be redesigning your itineraries? Are you looking at tweaking them to address the present situation? How and what you're doing at the moment?
Okay, in the redesign of the itineraries, in fact, I feel in this time, we have created many products, especially for this time. Small groups, itineraries in maximum 5, 6, 7 customers in the same minivan, In fact, products that we have thought in the past, like good possibilities, but is in this time of the pandemic, where we have the real time to make these ideas in realities. In my opinion, when the pandemic passed, after many months, after 2, 3, 4 months more, the people start to travel like in all our life, because the price is something important. And if you are traveling in big motor coaches, okay, you get better price. That, of course, that these new products will remain in the market, stay in the market, because at the same time that we have people who want to travel in big motor coaches, there is another people who want to travel in private tours and in private vans. But in my opinion, when the pandemics go out, the normality comes to our life, in a really similar situation than before the COVID.
Okay, Alex, I understand where you're coming from and what the people require. But then my next question to you would be, and this I'll ask all of the others also, would there be a difference in pricing? Would next year from 2021, will the prices go up? Will they stay as they are? Will they come down? What's going to happen?
Depends. This is one of the big mysterious for the next year. Because depends on the level of the recuperance of the people comes again to travel. Well, here the prices don't have any secret. It's only the level of occupancy. If you have enough passengers, you can maintain the prices. But in a normal season, if you don't have passengers, it's not a possibility. There is no have possibility to maintain the prices. In fact, any other point. We don't know the policies that the different countries are going to put in the market. If we can't use a big motor coaches and full of passengers, if we need to use only 50% of the level of occupancy, of course that the prices needs to be different. But if the people come to travel again in a normal situation, of course that the prices will be the same that in the past. Probably a little low because the hotels are cheaper today or whatever. But the more important here is not about the prices of the hotels or something like that. Is we are only thinking in the level of occupancy. How many passengers we are going to have in each motor coach? This is the important point.
Okay, I'm going to ask the same question. Christina, I'm going to come to you with the same question on pricing. Because over here, what is going to happen is the hotels, it maybe have less occupancy, but they have more. They need to do their cleanliness. They need to do the proper thing. They have to make the safety levels very high, which is an additional cost. So what do you think? Will the prices in Spain really remain the same, or would they go up? Would they come down?
Well, I think in general, to travel will be more expensive. But will be more expensive in general to everywhere because the airfares. The airlines has eliminated many aircrafts. Physically, they have eliminated the aircrafts. Means we have less flights and more expensive to everywhere. To keep a plane, it was very expensive. To keep a plane at the airport, just the insurance, parking, wherever, it was extremely expensive. And the pandemic has accelerated the end of these aircrafts. We are in touch with many airlines managers, and in general, this is a tendency. So it will be more expensive to travel to everywhere. In terms of ground services, we have the same prices. I mean, they are not more expensive, or the prices nowadays is technology. So the hotels will have dynamic prices. So depend the offer or not, it will be more or less expensive. But in general, the ground services like restaurants or buses or cars or guides, they keep the prices. Later we'll see what's happened, how many people come or not. But in general, yes, because the airfare is important in the package.
Okay, the same question. Sorry, I need to go with all four of you. Kiran, I'm going to ask you that same question, but here I want to ask you, especially with the element of restaurants and everything, because if you're looking at the Indian market and they want to have a vegetarian food and other things, would also that become a little expensive, or how will that whole thing pan out to be?
On this point, I agree with what Christina has mentioned. On the ground services, transportation, restaurants, everything is more or less in the same level as it was for 2020 and as it was for 2019. We have to also consider one thing, and there is a lot of eagerness on going back to normal. We all want to sell. There are a lot of offers going on. So everyone wants to be back to where we were. So on the ground arrangements part, I think the prices will stay more or less stable. Even on the hotel part, we are seeing many offers coming up. So that will set a very positive mindset for the beginning of the season. We have to see how that will develop. There are cities like Barcelona that have usually had a very big demand, Madrid as well. So we have to see the behavior and how the numbers will be once the season starts.
So you do think that in the beginning the prices will be high, but over the long run it may come down?
In the ground arrangements, especially, I think it will remain more or less the same. Airfares definitely are way higher. So in the beginning, I think more or less things will be quite stable.
Okay. Ignacio, I want to really come to you. But here I want to put in a plug over here. A lot of people have started working from home. So that's a definite cost reduction. Offices don't have to function at the same level and all that. So there's a certain amount of cost saving over there. Will that be given to the traveler at the end of the day, or will the prices still remain high as is going along? So.
Yes, this is an important factor, but it is more on the side of from 100 euros, or let's say on the cost side. So 65 to 70% of our costs are staff, human resources. Then maybe rentals of space, office rentals are not that significant. So yeah, it can be. So, but there is a dead weight now to start to come back to normality, and this is something that we have to factor now. So we may have a decrease in our costs, but on the other hand, we have a dead weight until everything comes to normality. And this is very, very important. But it's not that important. It's not that relevant. The rentals. Rentals can be rentals costs are not that high. So,
okay. My next question to you would be, because today when I was speaking to some of the Indian agents, they really said that more important at the moment, apart from pricing, is going to be the belief and that confidence that it is a safe destination, especially in terms of what is happening in terms of the cleanliness, the hygiene level, what is being done over there. And God forbid, if anybody does get infected, then what are the precautions, how long they have to be inducted. So my question to you would be really, whose responsibility is this? Is this the travel trade which has to come forward and put the market perception correct that this is what the health and wellness activities are, or is it the tourism board, or is the government who's supposed to be doing this?
Yeah, at the beginning of the pandemic, in the month of March and April, there was somehow a confusion, and then for ourselves at that moment we could see that there was we could see the light or the recovery very soon by the end of May or June and something like that. And at that moment, the industry and together with the European authorities, national authorities, and regional authorities, we've been working very hard so that we made all these measures of safety measures, hygiene measures to be adopted together. So as such, the Ministry of Tourism and also the Health Tourism and Industry Tourism, they work together to create some recommendations. Cannot be more than recommendations. In Spain, the way the responsibility of health is distributed is rather complex, not to say in the whole European Union. So, we cannot regulate, we cannot create the regulations on something which is not entirely the responsibility of the government. This is what happened in Spain and also in many of the European countries. For sure, in the future, all this need to be changed in the European Union, because the system, as you have proved, it doesn't work. It is not responsibility to the European Union, it's not responsibility of the national government, but regional government. But some areas and some adjacent areas are a responsibility to the national government. So it's difficult to coordinate and with the politics behind. So the industry has done very well, and the industry issued the National Tourism Office issued some recommendations for restaurants, for transportation and so on, and these have taken as guidelines to follow. This is what we follow, and we try to apply. Definitely, there are some recommendations, but this is not so trustable as the other ones. In the end, what we do in de facto, that is the law, the regulations, and what we do is to double check whenever we hire and we contract any service, what measures are taken specifically by a given supplier. So that is very, very important. And then also we have to voice the risk of bankruptcy or financial solidity of the company, so because it can happen something. These months are really critical. It can happen that we are handling a reservation and booking, and maybe the supplier will stop the activity in the coming months. So that is also another danger. So that we like to talk about hygiene, etc., but there are many others.
I understand that. Point taken. Kiran, I want to come to you. I really need to ask you, one side is the government, which is supposed to do it, the state level. But when it comes to individuals, the DMCs, the hotels and all that, they are also have a responsibility towards doing some kind of work to prove to the customer that they are absolutely COVID-free, as I would say that. So what do you think are the things which the private sector should be doing?
In terms of proving the security, first of all, there are certain certificates that you can get to prove that and to work. So that is the main proof you can get. Secondly, it's the way you develop your work. So it's making sure if the priority and the tranquility of the clients probably is traveling privately, then putting priority to those facts, providing vehicles that are 100% safe, providing hotels that we know that we have, that they have this safety certificate. There's a lot of interest and a lot of clients pushing now for sustainability as well. So now it's not only safety, but also sustainability that has come into the picture. So we are also working towards those lines. So we have to see at everything as a whole, and we have to make sure that from the moment the clients land till the moment the clients leave the country, they have 100% safety measures. There are a lot of behaviors that have come during COVID and will stay, will remain. For example, wearing a mask, using gloves. Some people are using gloves, using the gel, the alcoholic gel. So a lot of behaviors will remain, and we will make sure that are still being undergone by our staff, our guides, and our people to ensure that there's a lot of safety in every movement and every step we take. If we can give priority to private transportation rather than public transportation like trains or flights, we will always go for that.
All right. Christina, I'm coming to you now. Can you share with us some of the measures that your company you have taken to ensure that the clients are happy and you're COVID-free? That is what we really wanted to understand from you.
I think people will be, for sure, will be worried about the atmosphere of the COVID, what's happened. Here in Spain, we are divided in different states, more or less, we call communities. In every community, the rule is different. So we have the feeling we don't know what to do where, so everything is very chaotic in that case, So, but for us, from Century to clients, in general, in our software, we have launched all the policy of every hotel in relation to COVID-free. So when we confirm the hotels to clients, we will send to every client, every travel agency, which are the rules in every hotel they will visit. So this is already, we are working in that in our system because we have a technology, so in our system it's already launched. And also we will inform about who are the rules in buses, who are the rules in city tours, because for example, in city tours, the buses has to stop with two streets before. They don't need to be mixed with more people. I mean, there are many rules. Some rules are forced by the government, and some rules are forced by our company to guide to travel to buses, to small buses or tour leaders. So, but before they arrive, in the confirmation, they will have the whole policy of hotels and all suppliers.
Okay. Thank you. I'm going to come to Alex now. Alex, I'm doing a little separate. Tomorrow, if a customer comes to you and a traveler comes to you and he or she gets COVID positive and they need to be quarantined. Where will you quarantine with them and who pays for it? Will you pay for it, the government pays for it, or the customer has to pay for it himself? How does it work? Alex, you're muted. You need to unmute yourself.
Today, the quarantine is not a problem in when they come to the first problem is that today the Indian people is not allowed to come to Spain yet at the moment. But you know that the Europa Mundo have included a big insurance, a new insurance level, okay, to help and to cover the different customers who came here in case of they have any kind of problem of these problems, okay, our insurance cover all the cost for these passengers. This is an investment that we need to do to recover the confidence in the customer who wants to come to Spain, okay. That and of course in all this work that we need to do in the anti-COVID requirements, we have included all the necessary sanitary measures in our motor coaches. You know that Europa Mundo have its own fleet or motor coaches, and this is we have made a big work in this. So daily disinfection, reinforced the air filters to maintain the best possible anti-COVID levels, hydrogel on the motor coaches, and important a careful selection of hotels that meet all the requirements. This is, we have made I feel that this is a responsibility of all the people involved in the industry, and this is our direct responsibility.
So insurance is important. So you will want every customer of yours to be well insured before they come to you.
Yeah, no, it's included in the package.
Fair enough. Okay, my last question to all of you, which is, I'm going to start with Alex now, is going to be, India is known to be a very resilient market. What, according to you, Alex, look at the crystal ball. I know you can't predict it, but when do you think so the Indian market would be ready and they would be able to come to Spain for a holiday?
Yeah. I feel that we spoke in the beginning of the meeting, in the private meeting. I feel that the world today is waiting for the vaccine. Okay, waiting for the vaccine. At the moment that the vaccine will be ready, I feel that all the human beings in the world wants travel now. Okay, only the people have fear to travel, but I think that we are fight with this fear at the moment that the vaccines come. I feel that in our idea during the first quarter of the next year, okay, the market probably, and we hope that probably start to be open, okay, and in the second quarter of the year, the market will be ready. Starting.
Okay, second quarter. That's fantastic. Okay, Christina, I'm going to come to you with the same question. When do you think so? Will Spain be ready to welcome Indian tourists, and when do you think so they will start coming? And what's your prediction?
Well, I have always had the feeling that the Indians has no afraid to do anything. When I see the groups, especially mice groups, they are incredible. They are heroes. I mean, I think they are more used to the life is not so comfortable like a European citizen because we are too much protected. I mean, we protect ourselves, we protect children, we are too much. But Indians are not afraid. So, and the example is now because the flights are full to Maldives and Dubai, and they are full. I mean, I think there are other markets more friends or like Americans or even some European country, but Indians, I don't think so.
So do you think so? Next second quarter, first quarter, third quarter, when will they be there?
Indians, we are open to to wherever they want. But I think more or less when the customs open in March, April, more or less, after the vaccine arrived to some places, I expect around April, March, something like this. Maximum June.
Okay, fair enough. Kiran, you wear two hats because of the two cultures. What do you think about it? That's something, when do you think the Indians will start coming?
Well, I agree with Cristina. Indians are totally fearless. In Spain, we have had issues in the past with terrorism. We have had some political uncertainty, yet Indians were here. There were no changes in numbers. We have had, actually, I can say, my own experience, we had our biggest numbers of mice movements after all these problems. So Indians have always shown this confidence towards our country, towards our destination. And Spain is a country that reacts very well to these things. So we are ready to welcome Indian guests anytime. If they could, I wish they could come now for Christmas. It's a very, very beautiful period to come to Spain. I'm confident that they will come during the beginning of summer. It will still take time. Vaccine is a key factor, obviously. But I think it's a matter of learning how to live with the virus, because the virus will be with us for a long time. So as long as the borders are open, as long as flights are there, economically you can allow yourself to travel, then it's just a matter of opening doors, and we will welcome guests.
Thank you so much. Ignatius, you are the most experienced now. What do you think, when will this whole thing start?
I share those views of Kiran and Cristina. I agree with them. Only to add on this, I think the trends of it will be by sorry, I repeat. So it will be by the beginning of second quarter that gradually destination Spain will be open to Indians as soon as the vaccination becomes a reality in Spanish society. So first of all, and of course. With the approval of European Commission. And there is a political factor that we don't talk about this, but it is a reality. So we are a group of countries united together, and we take decisions together as far as customs and borders are concerned. So this is number one. So then this, I think, it will follow the leads of previous years pre-pandemic. So it means that excellent relationship of quality price, and then it is a unique destination that Indian have recently discovered. And still, India is a big country, a huge country, and many people still haven't been there. So the trend is there, so it will continue.
What I must say, tell all four of you in the morning when I did the whole webinar with the travel agents from India, they all said the second quarter of 2021 will be when Indians will be traveling to Spain. I think you guys have either spoken to each other something.
Magic.
You say the same things, all of you, but that's wonderful. Okay, I'm not really out of time now, and I need to give you all the closing remarks. So I'm going to go with Alex first. Alex, I'll give you a minute or so to give your closing remarks, and what do you think, whatever you feel like saying. Over to you.
No, the idea is that we are ready. The companies in Spain are ready to receive the Indian market. The government is helping a lot. It's helping, and it's fighting a lot to be safe, clean and safe products and clean and safe countries. Okay, and shortly when the customs open, we're going to receive all the Indian passengers. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And now I'm going to ask for the closing word. I'm going to go to, you're going to change a little bit. Ignacio, I'm going to come to you for your closing remarks, please.
As soon as the conditions are given, we are ready to assist you for destination Spain, and we are very, very confident that we will be welcoming you 2021. Definitely.
Wonderful. Cristina, your closing remarks, please.
Well, we wait for the Indian markets. We are ready. We have been working during this pandemic. Also, we were not with the armed crowds. we was working, we are ready, we have many new products, and try to be as safe as possible. So I'm confident because I think people wish to travel.
Wonderful. In fact, I must share with you, the ladies, before I come to you, Kiran, I'm giving the ladies the last word. You always have the last word, so I'm giving both of you the last word. So Kiran, actually the last word is yours. So what's your closing remarks?
Well, there is something that we don't have to forget. We all know, but we never mention. Spain is the second country in the world that receives more tourists. Traditionally. This means we are a strong country, we are prepared, we have beaches, we have cities, we have rural areas, we have a lot of products that adapt to any type of client. And there's no doubt that we are absolutely ready for the new era, the new normal, and for welcoming the Indian guests during 2021 and further.
Wonderful. Thank you very, very much, all four of you. You will all be there, hopefully, on the virtual Spanish travel show starting on the 2nd and 3rd of December. Let me also mention to you that every Indian is waiting. All the buyers are waiting to talk to you, to discuss things with you. Apart from the itineraries, they also want to know what are the COVID kind of compliances which you have put into place, and all that, so they can show to their customers that everything is normal and everything is okay, and they're all looking forward to traveling. So I wish all of you a great luck and best of luck for this, and hopefully things should start very soon. Thank you very much for being a part of this today. It was a pleasure talking and interacting with all four of you.